Hello everyone, and welcome back to another instructional video brought to you by BNP Lamp. Today we're going to be looking at a deconstructed floor lamp. Okay, so we'll dive right in here. So one of the first products that we sell that's an essential piece to a floor lamp is the switch that makes all this happen. This switch item number is a 40402I, and this is a three-way position switch that has a black wire, a blue wire, and a red wire. Now, the black, blue, and red wire are all hot wires. So that means they will connect to the hot wires of these sockets and the power cord coming in. So with that being said, we're going to get the neutral wires out of the way because they're really simple to connect. So you see I have three sockets on this cluster. Position my camera a little bit. There we go. These sockets all have a hot, excuse me, if you can see here, I have a hot and a neutral coming down this arm and into this cluster body. Each one has a hot and a neutral. And then we go and look at our bottom light, which would be the socket that would be fastened to the bottom of your floor lamp that would illuminate the base. And it also has a hot and a neutral coming up into the cluster. And then last but not least, our top socket, which would attach to the top of this cluster once everything's ready and set to go. It also has a hot and a neutral connected to this on and off socket here. Okay, all, and I mean every one, of the neutral wires to the sockets and the power cord are going to be wire nutted together, as you see here. Now, I've talked about in my previous video, the neutral wire on the power cord is going to be your ribbed cord. So make sure you get a good feel and understanding of what that feels like. It's going to be coarse, it's going to be rough. And then when you feel the other side of that wire, it's going to be smooth. And it usually will have a UL listed writing on the smooth side of the wire. So we've identified that the rough, kind of coarse side of this cord plug is the neutral. So we have taken all of our neutral wires and we have connected them together in one single wire nut. Okay, now that that's out of the way, we're going to discuss the red wire on our position switch. So this red wire is connected to just one, particularly this one, socket on the cluster. One hot on the cluster. One socket. Then the other hot line is coming from the bottom light of this cluster. So the bottom light hot and the socket from the cluster hot is tied in with the red wire. And what this does on the position switch is it turns it on in sequence until they're all on. So essentially the red wire turns on these two sockets first, excuse me, in the series. Then when you turn it again, the blue wire, whatever it's connected to, will turn on next. So the blue wire is connected to the last two sockets in this cluster. And once I get it plugged in, you'll see how it works. So the last two hot wires on this cluster from these two sockets here are connected to the blue wire of our position switch. Alright, last but not least, the black wire on the position switch is connected to the power supply, which is our cord incoming from the outlet, or the power supply, and the hot wire to our top socket. And the reason why this socket is connected to the hot wire of the power supply and the black line is because it has its own switch. So it's always on when it's plugged in, even when this switch is off. However, this has its own switch, so you can turn this on and off freely, which I'll show you that when I turn it on, without having to have this switch on in sequence.